Well, y'all, I thought I'd bring you along and let you see what I've been doing today and what I've been doing the last few days with the help of a dear lady, Michelle, who helped me. She moved a tremendous amount of wood chips in like 3 or 4 hours or less. I couldn't believe that how many she moved for me in that length of time. But we ran out of weed barrier cloth and I ran out of cardboard. And I was in Walmart day before yesterday to pick up a few things. And I noticed they started getting in stock. And I didn't make it back out there yesterday, but I had to go today. And I picked up some milk because they didn't even have chocolate milk out when I was there. And I only drink 2%, and that's all. They didn't have any. So I went back in there today, especially to get the milk, and checked to see if they had cardboard that they were going to get rid of. And sure enough, they did. And I wanted to show you, I got carloads. Look at all that cardboard. And they're pretty good sized pieces. I got that much. Let me show you over here. All of that cardboard. And then that over there leaning up against the table. But I wanted to show you, I still got all those wood chips to move. And my back's not going to let me do it. So I've been getting people like Michelle, people that are, and some people that have helped me before, to come over and move the wood chips for me. I can put down the cardboard. And I did that whole corner of the yard over there by myself, the garden, the first part that I had showed you. I did every bit of that by myself. I moved all those wood chips, and it took me forever because, I don't have a good back or neck. And it started really telling on me, and I said, well, I got to get wood chips moved, and I'm running out of time on getting it moved because there's other things I got to do in the garden. So I ran an ad on Neighborhood Watch or whatever it is, the website they have for this area. And I asked if anybody wanted to make a couple of dollars to help move some wood chips. And dear Michelle answered the ad. And she came over here, believe it or not, on her day off to help me. And see, I had left off right here. You can see the cardboard right down there. And with her help, I was laying the weed fabric cloth and the cardboard. And she brought all these wood chips back here for me and dumped them. I helped spread them out. And like I said, I had to put the the cardboard and the weed fabric down. But she brought all those wood chips back here for me on this side of the garden. And I got to finish this back here. I ran out of weed fabric and cardboard, but I got to move those few wood chips and put cardboard under it. Do it all the way to that pink bucket. I really need to bring some more in over here, because one idea behind doing this was to build up the backyard. See how it kind of slopes down in that direction in a dip. And it was hard to mow back here. And I said, I know eventually these wood chips are going to break down and I'll have grass. And I can either put more wood chips or I can mow. But I said, this will help. See, all along through there, it dips down in a hole almost. So I'm just going to put cardboard back here. I'm going to fill it full of wood chips, build it up. That way, even if there's grass that comes up here, and eventually when all these wood chips break down, it'll be a level spot. It's not going to be a rocky area. Because see, right there, it drops off from that rock right there at that corner. And all that needs to be filled up. It'll probably take 6 wheelbarrows full of wood chips just to put in that one little strip. And I want to put them back here. I may let that one oak tree grow, but there's a whole slew of of them come up in there. That's the problem. And there's my water meter, that back black container with that black top. That's my water meter, and I need to keep that open. And that's one reason I kept it weed-eated back here, so I had access to my water meter. Otherwise, it gets so growed up you can't get to it. And I was going to fill in all back here behind this raised bed. And see, all along here, where little buddy's laying, is nothing but rocks at the very back of my garden. I mean, my yard. And see how it drops off into that dip? And there's my property line, that string way down there. So I just kind of wanted to fill it in as much as possible back here. Cover these rocks up. Make it level. So at least you can walk back here. And I want to put wood chips all under this planter here. Yeah, I do. And there's Lucky. And see, I ran out of weed fabric right there. So I need to lay some cardboard on this side of the tank and go ahead and fill all this in. I got a hole right there. That's a big dip. I mean, you just about break your neck if you stepped in that hole at night and not expecting it to be there. Look at that, the fur babies. Bless his heart. He got in a fight, Lucky did, with a stray cat the other night. He come up on the porch, and Lucky didn't want him there. And I tried to run him off, and when I did, oh my gosh, Lucky went after him. Oh my goodness. I haven't seen him back yet. But they did get in a spat, and he's got a few scratches on the top of his head. But they're not bad. They're just really, you know, just light scratches. They're not bad at all. Didn't draw blood. Look at the little buddy. I don't think I've ever seen him lay on his back like that. He's enjoying the sun. He's so silly. I can't help but laugh at him. You'd think with all that fur they got on them that they would not want to be in the sun, that they would be so hot. But they enjoy laying in the sun. They also enjoy laying like Lucky's doing right there and laying in the shade too. But yeah, I want to finish back here as much as possible. And even if I have to get another load of chips, if I can find people to help me that'll move it for me, I want to fill in back here as much as possible to raise my yard up instead of being in a dip. So when it rains, everything just doesn't wash down the hill. Because that's the way the lot is over there. I mean, when it goes to the other street on the other side, it goes down in a dip. So I'm the high side, and everything from here goes down. So I lose a lot of my soil when it rains a lot. It washes down the hill. Look at those fur babies. I'm getting my tripod hung. Look at that. Isn't that something else? But that cold spell we had, my seedlings survived anyway. That's kohlrabi right there. And this is cilantro. And this is a salad mix down here. And I got coleus here. And I've almost given up on it. But look, I've got one or two coming up. And it's the mixed coleus. So if I can just get one or two plants out of it, I'll be tickled to death. Because if I can root the plant when it gets big enough. And I got some lettuce up here. It didn't do too good up here, but I mean, some of it's living. It's enough up there. And look here at my corn and my beans. But yeah, I want to put wood chips all back here to level up my yard. I need to move all my potatoes so I can raise this up a little bit more. I ran out of wood chips the last time I did it, because I put wood chips back here a few years ago, but it needs another, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches deep of wood chips back here. If I can get them just as far as that fabric cloth on the edge, I'll be happy. Just to make me a nice walkway back here behind my shed. And see, I want to get them out here in this corner too. I mean, I own the other lot over there, that wooded lot, but I don't intend to try to get it too far over. But I'd like for this corner, see all these rocks? I can't dig these up, they're boulders in the ground. But if I could get enough wood chips back here to cover, to fill in, it'll at least level it off to where I'll have a level corner back here. That's the goal anyway. And I've got to look how much my potatoes have grown since I filled in the dirt already. And I've got to pull up the sides like this. That comes up another 2 inches. All these bags do. And I need to fill in with dirt. Because potatoes are supposed to, when you fill in the dirt, it'll put out shoots all up along the stem. And it'll just add more places where potatoes will grow. I mean, that's the way you do when you plant them in the ground. You hill them up, is what they call it. As the potatoes grow in height, you mound up dirt around the plant. The more dirt you can mound up around the plant, the more potatoes you'll end up with. But see, I want it at least even. I don't know if you can see it. My property, it's weird. It goes where that stake is, that stick, and that's like kind of a point to the property. It doesn't go in a straight line. And then it cuts back to, it cuts back that way. It goes straight from this end to that stick, and then it kind of gradually goes to the right from that stick, back that way to the other property. The property flag that I've got over on the other side. Yeah, I got to get here and unfold these bags. Go ahead and fill them up as far as I can with dirt to give the potatoes more room to grow. But I think that they like it in this spot. I put peppers here one year, and about the middle of the summer, the peppers started dying because it was too hot on them back here against this metal shed. But my potatoes are far enough away from the shed. They're not getting heat from the shed right now. And we haven't hit 105-degree temperatures either. And I think by then my potatoes will already be gone. I'll be able to dig my potatoes way before then, I'm hoping. Look at this. He's following me around. Yeah, he's following me around. But look at this, my scallop. This is my white scallop squash. And I've got, looks like 3 plants that came up. And I got a jalapeno pepper there. And look here at my eggplant since I put the little mini greenhouses on them. Look at that. I got several plants in there. I'm going to have to pull plants up, and I've got several right in this one too. But I'm going to keep them covered for a little while longer to protect them from the bugs. But look at this. There's another asparagus shoot coming up. I wish I had a lot more of these crowns. I've already broke 4 or 5 of them off and ate them. I love asparagus, especially when you just pull it right out of the garden and or break it in the garden and eat it. And tomato, and I got peppers coming up in the corner. Peppers haven't come up here yet. I don't have these planted yet. I'm waiting to get some of the plants from the greenhouse to go in there. And I got my big dill growing there. I got a zucchini and some marigolds there, and it looks like a pepper plant in the corner. Pepper plants there. And this is my parsley here. Come up from seed, and the bugs started eating it, so I tried to cover it up with a little miniature greenhouse. My cabbages are looking good. I had to cover up the smallest ones because they didn't do too good when I took them out of the little greenhouses, the miniature greenhouses. So I said, well, I'll cover them back up for a little while longer. See what happens with them. But see, I've still got all these totes to plant. Oh, I hope my raspberry bush produces raspberries this year. It looks beautiful the way it's growing. It just has not had raspberries on it. And I put a lot of fertilizer to it to help it. I need to put some Epsom salts to it too, which I haven't done yet. But my pepper, look at there, it's got blooms. And that is a bell pepper, I think. Yeah, a red sweet bell pepper. Yeah, all these I've still got to plant. I mean, I've got a couple of tomato plants in these 2 end totes already. I've got a basil there. I got a gold medal tomato right there in that black pot. And you know, that's my pea garden. I got tomatoes. I got a hot pepper, zucchini. I think I got a zucchini growing there with 2 tomato plants. I got a gold medal back there in the black pot. Zucchini there. And I got a gold medal. No, that's a golden jubilee tomato right there plant. And I need to put another 1 or 2 in there, but I haven't transplanted them out of the greenhouse yet. But look at my rose bushes, y'all. Look at that. Aren't they beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? I love roses. Roses are my favorite, and when I can grow them in my yard, that makes me happy. Makes me happy. I got my marigolds. Some of them are coming up in the top. You can barely see the little green shoots. I've still got peas that are waiting to come up. And I transplanted some lettuce out here. And some of them are kind of wilted down a little bit, but it's because I just transplanted them. But they'll be okay. And I got the lettuce down there. That is really good romaine lettuce right there. It's not the bitter kind. I don't think I ever want to plant that again. And there's my geraniums. I got a few of them still left there. Pepper plants coming up. I got a cabanella hot red pepper back there. Tomato plants, several different kinds come up. Tomato plants there. That's the Rutgers tomato. Those right there. And I don't remember what this is. It's the little sign. You can't read it anymore. It's so faded out. I wanted to say it was parsley or something. I don't know. And then I got Cherokee purple tomatoes. Some of them are coming up. I had just about given those up, but look at the little sprouts coming up in those cups. And they went through the freeze this winter. You know, I started them in the greenhouse, and then it froze for 2 nights. And that's the cups that were left in here, and they're coming up now. I had to leave this door open because this sun is starting to get hot. I wish they'd put one of those, well, like this bug net, like a screen, so you can open the windows and get air, but it doesn't let the bugs in. I don't see why they didn't put one of those on this door. Does it make sense that they didn't put it on the door? Because it gets hot in there when it's out in the hot sun, and you need the door open to get air, and then there's nothing to keep the bugs out. And I've planted seeds in this, and you know what this is, don't y'all? This is fried chicken container from Walmart. It acts as a mini greenhouse, because that latches down and you can open the little holes. Oh, let's see if I can put this down. So I don't have to hold it here. But then you can't see what I'm doing, can you? Well, I was going to show you. I thought I was anyway. If I can get it here where I can show you. Now, but it latches down and it holds a lot of the moisture in. And I've put, and you don't even have to open these. You can close them completely. But you want a little bit of air. I'll close a few more of them. Starting to, I guess I need to put it back in the shade. It's right there where that hot sun is on it. But I've got English thyme. I've got English thyme. I've got that Anish hispus herb. I can't pronounce it. And then I got mixed phlox. I was going to see if I could root it in there and then transplant it in the garden. Or out around through the garden. And maybe get some flowers going out here. Right along with my marigolds. But I've got I think it's tomato plants that came up voluntarily. Now these aren't volunteers, but I think it got colder the other night than what they said. Look at this, because I got leaf damage on a little bit of it, but it's still starting to bloom. Got a tomato plant there and one here. And there's the lettuce that I've already been eating. That's the same that's in the greenhouse. And it's here in the shade in the hottest time of the day. So it's doing real well. So I'm thinking I may have to put a shade cloth over the greenhouse. Because it's cool under here. And look at there, I've got... oh, what is it? Caladium bulbs planted in these little white pots. But I've got tomatoes coming up. Those were some of the seeds that I had in the greenhouse. And the pots froze and they fell apart. So I dumped all the dirt with the little piece of the pot, because it was nothing but cardboard, in these. To have dirt to plant the caladium bulbs, and now I've got those seeds coming up. So I'll end up having to transplant them somewhere. Look. Ain't that right? Huh? Look at there. They follow me around. They're sweet babies. They are. Yeah, they're sweet babies. They're sweet babies. Yeah, they're sweet babies. They're sweet babies. Look at this. Few little scratches on his head. I wish he wouldn't get in a fight with all these cats. I'm afraid he's really going to get hurt one of these times. I made him stay in the house last night so he wouldn't get in another fight last night. During the day, he usually hangs around pretty close to the house and with little Buddy, but it's when those other stray cats come up that I have a problem. Because he got so he hangs out with little Buddy and they don't really fight anymore. Little Buddy might get irritated at Lucky once in a while and act like he was going to fight with him, but he doesn't usually do it now. And I don't know, my potato plants aren't doing too good in this pot. I think it got too cold on them the other night. Those potato vines. But these bulbs are really taking off. Look at that. The white and the red. And my clematis. Look at that. It's just full of lavender flowers. But the one on the other side, I guess that evergreen bush is just drawing all the nutrients out of the pot. And it's not giving the clematis chance to do anything. And I don't know if my hollyhocks will come back. They tried twice to grow. And each time they started putting out a couple of inch shoot, it froze. So I don't know. I mean, this part is looking real good. I mean, you have to have seen it years ago when it was just empty rock. I built all that up, put all those bulbs in there. Part of them survived, part of them didn't over the years. But it's still looking halfway decent now, at least. I wanted to see how my plants were doing up here. I planted Indian blanket flowers, marigolds. I've got daylilies. So it ought to look pretty good after a while. I think some of them are coming up. Yeah, I see a couple of little sprouts coming up. That's the marigolds, I think. So at least I'll have marigolds up here. My rose bushes are trying to grow. They're so puny out here. They just don't get enough water. I need to get a bucket of water and come out here and water them and put some fish emulsion. Because, you know, that's what I fertilize my plants with is fish emulsion and my compost tea. Look at this. Am I doing the tour right, Lucky? Huh? Am I doing it right? Huh? Am I doing it right? You got scratches right all over the top of your head. Poor baby. That other cat really gave you a number on your head. Yeah, he did. But I forgot to show you my, and see, I still got my mailbox to do. I don't know when I'll get around to doing that. I need to get out here early one morning, but I need to at least wait till the mailman comes before I get out there and start painting and doing stuff. And I've got sunflowers, Indian blanket flowers, all kind of stuff growing in this. Wildflowers, roses, and there's another crepe myrtle. That's the dark one. I put out some marigold seeds out through here, but I don't seem to see any of it coming up yet. Or I thought I did. He's going to go in between the boxes. Yeah, I was going to put those in the shed, but I wanted to wait till this evening when it cooled down out there before I started moving them out. And look at this, y'all. All of my pepper seeds coming up. I got tomato seeds popping up. Little tomato plants. Look at these peppers. That's the orange peppers there. That's the Roma tomatoes. And this is the red bell pepper. And this one is the yellow bell pepper. Look at all those little seeds down in there. I mean, all those little plants. They're not big enough to transplant yet, so I'll have to wait. Is it doing okay, little buddy? Huh? Is it okay? But you can see my moonflowers. Look how big they're getting. Some of them are. The ones were on this side. The ones on the other side are smaller because they were mostly in the shade all last year. And this year they're in the sun, so they should grow a lot better. Because moonflowers love the sun. They don't particularly like being in the shade. So that's one good thing about growing them out here. And they do spread. My jalapenos haven't started coming up here yet. But I've got perpetual spinach already growing. Whew. My bluebonnets. I loved seeing those bluebonnets. Look at that. Look at those bluebonnets. Aren't they pretty? I threw that seed out years ago and only had one or two of them come up. My mum's there at the corner with my sunflowers in it. I got mums here. Look at that sunflower. Those sunflowers are going to be pretty. My rose bush is blooming. And I got 4 o'clocks in here. That's a 4 o'clock that come up from the seed from last year, I think. Right there. And I got sunflowers coming up, you know, that I put in here around it. They like it out here. I figured at a bigger pot like that, maybe they wouldn't turn it over. And there's that rose bush. It's blooming. I'm sweating just walking around out here, y'all. It's in the 80s today. And there's a sunflower with mums. And look here. I've got a stray moonflower and sunflowers that I planted. Yeah, the sunflowers that I planted along here, they've perked up. They're going to grow. There's some right there. Those are the ones that I transplanted. And they were little tiny things when I first put them out here. Look how much they've grown since I put them in the ground. I've got my doubts about that one. It's so close to this rock. But it's standing up. I got a sunflower there with mums. Ooh, it's hot, hot, hot. My crepe myrtle. And I think I put nothing but mums in this not mums, but sunflowers in this year. I had perpetual spinach in there last year with sunflowers and stuff. But I think all that's in there right now is sunflowers, so that ought to be pretty. And all my peppers and my marigolds haven't come up in these pots yet. They will eventually. But I got this moss type flower that's coming up, and I got one marigold over there. Peppermint. But I want to show you my Rose of Sharon. I just knew it was dead. I didn't think it was going to come back. But look at that, y'all. Look at that. It's putting out new growth. It's going to be pretty this year. And I know the roots have went all the way down that pot into the big pot, but that's okay. But yeah, I got to put a cardboard all back here and put wood chips all back there to keep the grass down. I was going to do it later when it cooled off, or maybe early in the morning, put some cardboard down. My seed hasn't come up there yet. Whew. Look at this. This is my pumpkin pie. That plant right there with all these big leaves, that's mine. And that's the watermelon right back there, the little one. And that's the watermelon here. I got too much in this little pot, I think. And I think I got a watermelon coming up right there in the middle. Oh, man. I think these fur babies like my mulch. They've been using it for a bathroom. Little buddy. Can't you go somewhere else to do that? Not in my wood chips. I'll have little piles of chips all over. At least they cover it up. But I got peas and I got my strawberry plants in here. Look at the strawberry plants. They put out pretty leaves. They're gonna live, looks like. There's another one here. And it's they say it's supposed to be good to plant your strawberries with these bush peas, bush beans, or whatever they call them. Let's see, I got a strawberry plant right there in the middle. Well, you can't see it it's right there. And I got one there. Got a pretty one over there in that corner. And I finally got a few sprouts of popcorn coming up. Look at this. I was about to give up on the popcorn, but I've got, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 popcorns that sprouted and started coming up. Not enough for those peas to crawl on. So that's why I put this, I started with this trellis up here. I'm going to put another net like's on that one back there, so the peas will have something to climb up. And I don't know if my lavenders ever come up or not. I've got this that came up and this, and I don't know if either one of them is lavender. They might be just weeds. And I don't see anything else coming up in here. Zucchini. No, that's my yellow squash. This is yellow squash. This is zucchini. And look at this big old zucchini. I'm going to have to pretty soon take this net off of it. I don't see it putting out any flowers yet. My turnips and my yellow and red beets. These are my turnips at this end. You know, we thin those out and look at them now. And this is marigolds and my cucumbers. I'm going to try to get my cucumbers to climb this trellis. And that's what, I've got more of this, and I'll put it out over there, on that one there. I've got another net that I can put on that and see if the peas will climb up over yeah, I can't talk. See if the peas will climb that one there when I put it on there. because I think the metal stakes and stuff like that gets too hot. And I just put the last of the strawberry plants out on this side. And I know they say you're not supposed to plant strawberries with peppers, but I've got purple bell pepper coming up here too. So we'll see. I got strawberries. Oh my goodness, look at there. That's a strawberry bloom, y'all. No bigger than that strawberry plant is. It's got blooms on it. I can't believe that. And there's, no, I thought that was a bloom, but it's not. But that is definitely, look at that, 2 little blooms on my strawberry plant. And it's not big enough to have a strawberry. So maybe my strawberries will do good this year. And my celery don't look too bad. It's here in the shade in the cold, the hottest time of the day. It's not big enough to harvest yet, but anyway, that's the update on my garden. If y'all have ever planted lavender from the seeds before, if you have any pointers, maybe I should put it in a little starter cup and put it in the greenhouse and get it started and then put it in here. I thought it would just come up in here, but I don't know. And like I said, I don't know if either one of these are lavender. I'm going to have to look up a lavender plant and see what it looks like. But that's our plan, is I'm going to take the rest of all that cardboard that I got and go all the way down the property line with it. Fill in beside the gas tank. And get some of these people that have been helping me off and on. Come over here and move some wood chips, because my back's not going to let me do it anymore. I can do my gardening and my other stuff, but messing with the shovel, having to load, dig those things out of the pile and lift that wheelbarrow and push it back here is telling on my back and neck. He found him a good spot. Right there in the shade. He said, "I'm not no stupid cat." Yeah, it'd be a good idea to put a lot of it back here too, to kind of keep the weeds and stuff down. It's mostly the flowers that grow back there, but sometimes you can get overrun with flowers. And my poor sweet peas, they got cold hurt. Look at the leaves. But I think they'll still make it. I'm hoping. First time I've ever planted sweet peas before. And I don't know. I haven't seen any more sign of my banana plant. It came up, we got a freeze, it died back down, and then the days warmed up. Another shoot came up, it was about 2 inches tall, and then we had another freeze, and then it died. And I haven't seen one trying to come back up yet, so I don't know. It may be gone. Those last 2 freezes we had may have done it in. But I got a tomato plant there full of blooms. No tomatoes yet, but there's blooms, so I should have tomatoes pretty soon. And I haven't seen any worms on any of this, but something has been eating the leaves. I don't know if it's grasshoppers or what it is. Oh, look at there. There's a tomato, y'all. Look at that little tomato. the first tomato of the season, y'all. That tickles me to death. I got a little tomato. I see my first BLT right there. That's going to be my first BLT. But it's about the size, not even as big as a marble right now. So it's got a ways to go before it's going to be on a sandwich. But my walking onions are looking good. My red and green onions are looking okay. I think these are the red onions here. Thanks, little buddy, for moving my tripod. And these are red onions here. Doesn't look like all of them made it. But I got yellow onions, Egyptian walking onions. Oh, and that's something else I wanted to show y'all that are interested in the Egyptian walking onions and what they look like when they start walking. Well, there it is right there. See that hump that come on that stalk? It's going to gradually move all the way up to the top of that stalk. And when it gets to the top, it's going to burst open in a whole cluster of little tiny onions. But that's what they call, it looks like a pregnant onion is what it looks like. That's what I say it is. And see, there's one. They're starting to walk because it's warming up. And like I said, when it reaches that point at the top, it's going to burst out into a clump of little baby onions that, you know, in just a few days after that burst open, you'll be able to pick them off and start planting them. But see, they're all starting to do it. Look there. There's another one right there. And there's one over here. See there? That little crooked spot. That's one right there. Here's one. Another one that started to walk. Right there. Here's one here. And it's weird because it'll push itself all the way up to the top of this stalk. And at the top, it'll burst open. Here's one here. This one has a lot of them in it. Look at there. And there's one here. So if you have Egyptian walking onions, and this is the first season that you've had them, and you see that on them, don't think there's anything wrong with them. That's what they're supposed to do. And like I said, they'll walk all the way to the top of that stalk. And they'll burst open. And they're going to give you a whole cluster of little baby onions that you can take and separate them and then plant them. Sometimes I'll wait and I don't break them off until I see little sprouts coming out on each one. And then you know they're trying to grow individually. And it's okay to pull them out. Or break them off and plant them. Yeah, but look at that. It looks weird, doesn't it? Looks like something's wrong with your onion. But there's nothing wrong with it. That's the way it's supposed to do. Let's check on these over here. See if they've got any. Yeah. Look at there. That's what that is right there. It's starting to walk. There's one back there. Well, I'm trying to show you. Now. Can't see it in the camera right there. My finger's on it. And there's one behind it, but I can't get to it. But there's another one. So if you have walking onions, Egyptian walking onions, and they've started doing that. See, that one's almost to the top. And I'll do another video when they burst open and I'll show you the cluster of little onions at the top. There's one just starting down there. And my garlic chives do that too. Look at there. Look at these. They do the same as the Egyptian walking onions. They burst out in a whole cluster of little tiny garlic chives, like miniature onions, and you can take those and plant them, and they'll make more garlic chives. But see here, that this is a pot of walking onions, Egyptian walking onions. There's another one. Hi. See, and that one. All right, well, I'll get back with you another time. This is an update on my garden.